Cebu is the new battleground for the 2012 Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines. The Jewel of the South, the site of the historic Battle of Mactan. Transforms into the ultimate battleground of endurance, strength, and will. Tried and tested triathletes became 21st century conquistadors, battling for the ultimate prize in triathlon.
It's the biggest triathlon to ever take place in the Philippines, and so that in itself is a big deal. We have an outstanding cast of professionals. We have 125 relay teams.
The unique traits that the host venue holds contributes greatly to the enchantment of the race.
As the event grew, we really needed the infrastructure to support the size of event with 1,700 athletes. And having an international airport here in Cebu was really important. Being able to bring over athletes from different countries directly into Cebu was helpful. If you look at the road system in Cebu, that's also a big plus. And then the accommodations here at the Shangri-La in Mactan.
More importantly, Cebu's natural ecosystem serves as the perfect race course for this year's Ironman.
What's a real treat now is being able to swim in the ocean. We are the second largest archipelago in the world, and we should be swimming in the ocean. So we've got a lot of new firsts for Ironman 70.3 Philippines, and we're really happy to be in Cebu.
Staging this world-class triathlon event.
The 2012 Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines has the full backing of the local government of Cebu. The province of Cebu has unique and world-class facilities that fit into the Ironman blueprint.
We have really taken up each aspect from safety and security to the infrastructure, the roads, even so far as watching out for the jellyfish in the sea. We have prepared really well in coordination with the other local government units. And we're talking here of 4 cities. During the race itself, you will find people cheering you on, from children to the youth, and even perhaps those are not so young but are sports enthusiasts, because sports is a big thing here in Cebu. The province of Cebu in full support of this triathlon.
Daryl Herbert of the World Triathlon Corporation appreciates the atmosphere that Cebu has to offer.
To have the community embrace people that are coming makes it unique. People can do an Ironman anywhere in the world, but if they're treated special from the moment they arrive, that creates a whole different feeling. When you've got a venue like this now, swimming in the ocean, beautiful clear water, you're setting up all those sorts of issues.
The prestigious Shangri-La Mactan Resort and Spa transforms into race central for the 1,700 triathletes competing in the race.
We have the available hotel rooms. In fact, we have the Shangri-La here that has excellent facilities and amenities.
Race organizers have created yet another incentive for the athletes to top the race. None other than world-class furniture designer Kenneth Cobumpue has been commissioned to design the winner's medal.
2012 Cobra Ironman 70.3 medal.
The multi-awarded designer has a client list that includes Hollywood A-list couple Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and pop music icon will.i.am of the Black Eyed Peas.
I'm very excited to be designing this medal and trophy for the Cobra Ironman 70.3 because it's something wonderful for Cebu and for our country. And with this unique medal that I designed based on the 3 events, I hope that our friends abroad and here can bring something they'll be truly proud of.
We're excited. I know everyone has a little extra incentive to finish.
This year's race route takes triathletes out in the open water, through scenic bridges, and through 4 local cities brimming with Filipino hospitality.
The open water swim is going to be a big plus. Riding over the Fernan Bridge is going to be very special. We're going to descend in through the tunnel and then do 2 loops in the SRP. And then I'm sure we'll have thousands and thousands of cheerers coming out on the run. And this is something that I think separates the Philippine Ironman event from everyone else, is that really the warmth and the hospitality of the Filipino really comes forward.
And one of the things that's really, in fact, touched me is how much fun it is to actually, be involved in a triathlon in Philippines. It's unique. We've just come across 150 children this morning with their families excited about what it's like to run and bike and swim and the excitement that comes from that. And that's the essence of what Ironman and triathlon is. It's about how do we, in fact, at the beginning, get children to get excited about sport and lifestyle. And honestly, triathlon in Philippines, outstanding and exciting.
This is the 2012 Cobra Energy Drink Ironman 70.3 Philippines.
This is the 4th year that we've been doing Cobra Ironman, and because of Ironman, there's been a lot of activities as far as triathlons are concerned, a lot of other events that support this particular sport have cropped up in recent years. So there's a lot of people transitioning from marathons or duathlons into triathlons. So that's how Cobra is able to support the Filipinos' interest with regard to triathlon, to the sport of triathlon. Cobra launched what we're calling Cobra Fit energy drink. It's got 40% less calories than the original. It's got apple juice, and it's also got what we call active burn ingredients led by L-carnitine and other burning ingredients like caffeine and vitamin D complex, and all of those combine to help active people burn as they keep on their active lifestyles. One of Cobra's brand ambassadors and last year's Filipino elite champion, that's Arlan Makasayam, and he actually uses Cobra energy drink during his bike portion of the triathlon. So he uses Cobra, and he says it helps him out. So I think not just for triathletes in general, it's actually meant for everybody who's got an active lifestyle.
We would like to thank Philippine Airlines, the official carrier of the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines, and co-host for the post-race launch. The toughest warriors invade Cebu for the 2012 Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines. Two-time defending men's pro champion Pete Jacobs sits on the Ironman throne. But can he hold on to his crown?
Been here for 4 years, every year of the Philippines 70.3. I'm really looking forward to winning again. My game plan is to try and have a really strong run and try and win it on the run and hold it together, hopefully for the swim and the bike with the leaders.
Jacobs draws from his experience in the 2011 Ironman World Championship in Kona, Hawaii, where he finished second overall. Like a battle-hardened general, Jacobs knows better than to underestimate his opponents.
It's going to be a really good battle with Cam Brown and the other male pros. Cam's been here every year, same as I have, And so he's going to be a tough competitor. He knows the conditions, and it's going to be you know, really strong on the run. So it's going to be tough on the run in the heat, but I'm looking forward to it.
Ironman veteran and New Zealand's own Cameron Brown has his eyes set on ending Jacobs' reign. Like Pete Jacobs, Cameron Brown has placed second in the Ironman World Championships in Kona.
Have to have a great day. It's going to take a good day to win. You know, Pete Jacobs is always in good form, and he'll be the guy to, I think, have another shot at the title.
Brown always finds a place on the podium, but the top spot has been elusive.
Yeah, definitely given it my utmost to try and win, and be nice, you know, sort of been third twice here, and be nice to be on top of the podium, that's for sure.
Matthew O'Halloran is a new face in the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines. O'Halloran is a Canadian living in the Philippines for the past 5 years.
There's quite a few factors that will make it a harder race, like the swim in the open ocean and you know, most likely the wind on the bike. If I could get a top 3 in this field, I would be very happy. You know, if I could go around 4 hours or faster, I'd be very happy with that. But you know, the biggest thing when I go and do every race is really to do my best according to the present circumstance. You know, it's very difficult to always nail the perfect race, and my best races have been the races that didn't go perfectly, but my attitude towards the circumstance. It's all about the attitude and the mindset during the race.
Over in the women's category, Belinda Granger reigned supreme in 2011. The race was decided in the final leg, and the feisty Australian looks forward to another tight battle.
I would love to have another close race. It's definitely a much better field this year. When I say better, I mean there's more really good girls at the top of their game. So it's going to be very difficult to defend. For me to win the race on Sunday, I have to have the perfect swim, the perfect bike, and the perfect run. But I'm hoping that we can have a close finish because it's exciting for the crowds.
Granger feels the pressure of a title defense, but she believes that the new course offers a level playing field.
It's always difficult coming back to a race as the defending champion because there's so much pressure on you to do it again. The great thing about this is it's a new race for everyone, so no one's done this course before, which means it's even for everyone, which is a nice thing. I like that because there's a little bit of unknown for us all, and it's exciting.
Coming in second in 2011 was Ironman veteran Amanda Stevens. The American looks to avoid a repeat of last year's finish.
My game plan is just to go out, have a good swim, solid bike, and run fast. Belinda's always a tough competitor, and Carolyn, I just raced her in Frankfurt a couple weeks ago, and she beat me there, so it's time to go back and maybe get a little revenge and see what I can do.
Both Granger and Stevens regard highly decorated triathlete Caroline Steffen as the woman to beat in Cebu. Known by her nickname Xena, Steffen recently won the 2012 Ironman Asia Pacific Championships in Melbourne, Australia. Steffen also held the ITU Long Distance Triathlon World title in 2010.
It's my first race in the Philippines, never been here before, and I'm very excited for Sunday. I'm pretty strong on the bike. The other competitors, I know them since years, and I raced a couple of times against them. I'm excited they're all on the start line. Looks like it's a pretty strong field, and
in the local triathlon scene, the clash of longtime rivals begins anew. Arland Makasheb holds the Filipino Men's Elite title. The Philam triathlete appreciates what the new course has to offer.
The main reason why we're here is to have this beautiful ocean swim. The Philippines, we're an island nation. There's no reason we shouldn't have an ocean swim in all our triathlons.
Makasheb offers an assessment of his closest rival, Neil Catiel.
Neil is very strong. He's very talented. He's young. He still has plenty of years ahead of him. I think my edge on Neil is the experience. I've done more of these races, but he is very talented. So I don't count him out, or I can't control how the other guys perform. I can only control how I'm going to race, and I'm going to do my best. So.
Neil Catiel aims to turn things around and avoid the misfortunes that marred his 2011 campaign.
Nag-training ako ng matindi ngayong taon na to. Mula noong January hanggang itong buwan ng August.
Katiil has learned from his mistakes in last year's race.
Kailangan ko paghandaan yung sa bike light. Kasi last year, yun ang nangyari sa akin. Hindi ko na-check na masyado yung bike ko. Nagkaroon ako ng problema, kaya medyo bumagal yung bike ko last year. Kaya inabutan ako ni Arlan.
Katiil vows to stick to his game plan come race day.
Sa pagkakataong ito, ang game plan ko ay kakapit ako sa malalakas sa swim. Pagdating sa bike, medyo steady lang ako. Kasi maghahanda ako ng lakas ko para sa run. Tapos sa run yun, babanatan ko na. Medyo mabigat-bigat na laban to. Kasi nandyan yung malalakas talaga. So, expect the unexpected na lang.
Monica Torres is the undisputed queen of the local triathlon scene. Torres is on track to win her 4th consecutive Filipino women's elite title.
You know, it's such a long race that anything can happen. A lot of malfunctions on the bike, or you might have like a bad swim or something, or on the run, you know, you never know if it's super hot, diba? So it's really just mental na rin siya when it comes to winning, just toughing it out.
Torres prefers to keep her game plan simple.
Swim hard, bike hard, run hard.
Youth is on Kim Mangrobang's side, but she is aware of the daunting task of overthrowing Torres and taking the title for herself.
Siyempre, like lahat naman, like mahaba yung race, like hindi mo alam yung mangyayari during the bike course, swim course, and the run course.
Kim is the youngest. Her forte is really in short course or like Olympic distance triathlon. But she has the speed.
Think positive.
These world-class triathletes are set to battle come race day. But they can all agree on one thing, that Cebu makes the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines a tough yet unique experience.
Great to be back in Cebu, and yeah, the water's just amazing. You know, the beautiful, stunning water, and then the riding is going to be fast, and that run's going to be nice and hot.
And I knew Cebu is a beautiful place, and I've always wanted to come here.
So it's easier for participants to fly in, and you know, it allows to accommodate more participants.
Exciting. I like, for slow swimmers like me, an ocean swim is much better.
Swimming out there with the fish and the coral is just, you know, very unique, and you don't get that anywhere else in the world other than Hawaii. It feels like another honeymoon.
We would like to thank Philippine Airlines, the official carrier of the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines, and co-host for the post-race launch. The presence of popular celebrities and athletes from different sports adds to the unique atmosphere of the 2012 Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines. Away from the bright lights of TV studios and movie sets, famous personalities such as Kuya Kim Atienza and Matteo Guidicelli aim to conquer their own personal battles out on the Ironman racecourse. Kuya Kim faced a serious health threat in 2010, from which he successfully recovered.
My stroke was congenital. It was caused by a hole in my heart that I didn't know existed. I'm really happy that it happened. My stroke happened 2 years ago when I was young. I'm able to recover fully. I have never been as fit as I am now. So I owe that to my stroke and my wanting to be healthy for the stroke not to happen anymore.
Everybody's favorite weatherman looks forward to his very first 70.3 Ironman race.
Well, I think I'm ready for it, but still, there's some fear in my heart also because it's new. I've never raced this distance. I've run 21 kilometers many times. I've biked more than 100 kilometers many times, and I've swum more than 2 kilometers many times, but I've never done the 3 combined. So it's exciting.
Meanwhile, Race car driver turned matinee idol Matteo Guidicelli takes on his first Ironman test. From racing on 4 wheels, Guidicelli must now navigate on his own 2 feet to conquer Cebu.
Masarap yung triathlon, nakaka-addict. The first race I had, I was very scared. I just did it for fun. Talagang I just wanted to finish. But the next race, talagang I wanted to beat my personal record, my time. Hanggat yung last race ko sa Cebu, I won my first Olympic distance. Talagang parang na-hype ako eh. Sabi ko, wow, this is so nice, you know?
Guidicelli counts on his rigorous training to see him through the race.
It's also a lifestyle. Like that, I'd always be in the gym while working out. And hindi mo kailangan mag-gym. You just swim, bike, run, and you're gonna be fit. I've never been this fit ever. This is my fittest I've ever been.
She is known as the Bull Runner. Long-distance marathons are Jamie Pizarro's forte, but the Bull Runner now faces racing in the water and on the bike. Cebu is her first true test in triathlon.
I was into mini sprints, short triathlons in 2008 and 2009. Actually, I just joined it for fun. So I just wanted something, a new thing that would scare me to death. And I think I found that with triathlon.
Pizarro sees the race as a tool of empowerment, proving to herself that women can do it all.
When I think about it, I feel like it's a goal that if I achieve, it will make me so proud of myself because I always try to reach for goals that I think I cannot do.
While triathlon is an individual sport, teamwork is put into play in the relay category. Team David Salon is the first all-female relay team to compete in the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines.
If you're part of a group, then it makes it more fun and interesting.
If there's more of us in the team, there's more exposure for our sponsors. So that helps us get the support that we need.
The darkness that covered the sky during Sunday dawn could not hide the anxiety and excitement building up inside nearly 2,000 individuals lined up to have numbers stamped on their limbs. One of the first ones in line was 3-time defending Filipino women's elite champion Monica Torres. Also making her way towards the body marking area was first-time Philippines visitor and women's pro contender Caroline Stephen. Nearby, Aussie Belinda Granger, who was last year's women's pro winner, also checked out her ride before heading off to the beach. Not far behind Stephen were last year's women's pro runner-up Amanda Stevens and Philippine-based Canadian Matthew O'Halloran.
Good morning.
Meanwhile, stroke survivor and media personality Kim Atienza was hoping that his race number would be a good omen as he was about to undertake his first half Ironman race.
Apat na one. One. Lakas ko yung pressure.
As the crowds dissipated, reigning men's pro champion Pete Jacobs and defending Filipino men's elite winner Arlan Bacachef took turns at being stamped.
The last will be first and the first will be last.
From the body marking area, the participants proceeded to the shore of the Shangri-La Mactan Beach. Some looked serious, knowing the immense challenge that they were about to face. Some relied on the strength in numbers, while others sought help from a higher power. As the minutes and seconds to the gun start ticked off, the shoreline and the shallow part of the water were teeming with people, including the title favorites. The first leg of the 2012 Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines involves a 1.9-kilometer swim. Unlike previous years, when triathletes swam in a man-made lake, the swim leg of this year's race was held in open water, where the current could pose a problem.
The Honorable Governor,
The Honorable Governor of Cebu officially signaled the start of the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines. As participants surged into the water. Just as he did last year, Pete Jacobs was ahead of everybody else from the very start of the swim leg, and the rest of the pack was made to play catch-up. Jacobs emerged out of the water first in just a little over 21 minutes. Close to a minute later, Matthew O'Halloran was done with his swim. As the good doctor Amanda Stevens and Kiwi Cameron Brown followed suit. More ladies soon appeared along the shore, as Swiss Caroline Steffen, together with American Bree Wee, reigning Women's Pro Champion Belinda Granger, young Kim Mangrobang, comebacking Elsie Langit, and Ali Fitch ran towards the transition area. The last two champions in the Filipino men's elite, Neil Catillo and Arlan Macachel, arose from the Cebu waters. Followed a couple of minutes later by Monica Torres and her teammate, 2011 Filipino Men's Elite second placer, August Benedicto. An appreciative crowd then came alive and cheered as one participant proved that no form of disability could stop one from competing. A few more minutes went by, and for almost all the participants, the first part was done. But it wasn't going to get any easier. Sponsors pulled out all the stops in their support of the 2012 Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines. LBC took charge of transporting various important and precision race equipment from Manila to Cebu and back. Countless liters of Powerade were shipped to Cebu to ensure that the triathletes stay well hydrated for the competition. And what is a Cebu welcome party without the legendary Cebu Lechon? The competitors feasted on the sumptuous local cuisine prior to the race. Finally, in a display of the Filipinos' world-renowned hospitality, over 25,000 locals turned up at the race route to cheer on the triathletes, proving that triathlon is indeed more fun in the Philippines.
Triathlon is more fun in the Philippines!
Triathlon is more fun in the Philippines!
Triathlon is more
One down, two more to go. The transition area is a critical portion of the race, as precious seconds, sometimes even minutes, can be wasted on changing equipment and gear for the next phase of the race. Having gone through the routine countless times in past races, overall leader Pete Jacobs had the usual seamless transition from the swim leg to the bike in Cebu. Also easing through the first transition area were Matthew O'Halloran and Amanda Stevens, followed by Cameron Brown, Caroline Stephan, Bree Wee, Belinda Granger, and Ali Fitch. On the local front, 2010 Filipino Men's Elite winner Neil Catiil and his successor Arlan Bacashev likewise had little trouble hopping on the saddle. Trailing young guns Kim Mangrobang and Elsie Langit after the swim, three-time Filipino women's champion Monica Torres knew that she had to make up for lost time in the bike. While the pros and elite participants were way ahead of everybody else, the likes of actor Matteo Guidicelli and running blogger Jamie Pizarro were just as satisfied to have trouble-free swims as they prepared to pedal their way through the streets of Cebu. The second stage of the Cobra IRONMAN 70.3 Philippines is the longest part of the race, as participants have to ride their bike 90 kilometers through the four cities of metropolitan Cebu, namely Lapu-Lapu, Mandaue, Cebu, and Talisay cities, before going back to the Shangri-La Mactan Resort and Spa. Pete Jacobs left the Shangri-La premises on his bike and zoomed out along the streets of Lapu-Lapu City as supporters cheered him on. From Lapu-Lapu, Jacobs went uphill towards the Marcelo Fernan Bridge to cross over to the main island of Cebu province and pass the streets of Mandaue City. Jacobs' closest rival would turn out to be Cameron Brown, who was just a few minutes behind the two-time champion. Meanwhile, it was a tight battle among the women's pros in the second leg. The reigning queen Belinda Granger would surge ahead on two wheels, but Bree Wee, Amanda Stevens, and Caroline Stephan were just right behind the Australian. Neil Catiil managed to keep the lead early in the bike stage, but the 2010 Filipino men's champ was visibly laboring while trying to fight the strong headwind. Over in the women's side, Elsie Langit would grab the lead in the bike over her teammate in the national squad, Kim Mangrobang. Lurking around, however, was Monica Torres, who was ready to pounce and overtake Langit. Even as the top contenders pedaled furiously, the bike stage though would claim its first victim, as women's pro Ali Fitch had a mishap and could not continue the rest of the race. There were also others who encountered trouble on the bike. Cycling in relative anonymity, actor Matteo Guidicelli coursed his way through the streets of Cebu with little fanfare. As the other bikers approached the bridge, their speed considerably slowed down as they labored to push the pedal on a steep incline. Meanwhile, Kim Atienza had his own little dilemma, as one of his bike's parts broke, preventing him from going aerodynamic. Participating as part of a relay team, actor Piolo Pascual rode his bike in blazing speed, overtaking other participants while adoring fans screamed his name. But the real attraction was just heating up, as erstwhile leader Pete Jacobs suddenly found himself a stiff challenge in the form of Cam Brown, who was neck and neck with him as the bike stage concluded. Was Brown ready to dethrone Jacobs, Or would Jacobs manage to hold off his fierce rival? We would like to thank Philippine Airlines, the official carrier of the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines, and co-host for the post-race launch. Pint-sized triathletes give their grown-ups a run for their money in the annual Alaska Iron Kid. This year's edition had eager young triathletes tackle the specialized swim, bike, and run course.
I train by training with my coach, Jess, and with my friends. And we train 20K bike, 1.5 run, and we train in a 50-meter pool.
I enjoyed all the swim, bike, run. The whole thing. It's challenging, sort of, but once you try it, you like it.
Family's proud of me, and I'm happy about that because they also helped me and supported me in this race.
Congratulations to the Alaska Iron Kids. The swim and bike legs are done. Now, it was time to pound the pavement and head towards the finish line. The final phase of the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines involved a 21-kilometer run through a 2-loop course via Punta Engano on the right side of the Shangri-La Hotel before heading back to the hotel grounds to cross the finish line. After ruling the swim leg, two-time defending men's pro champion Pete Jacobs suddenly found himself facing a real challenge as New Zealand's Cameron Brown managed to catch him on the bike, and both started the run leg almost on equal footing. Less than 5 minutes later, Canadian Matthew O'Halloran would arrive at the transition area and start his run.
Go!
Meanwhile, following a tight 90-kilometer battle with 3 other women pros, Swiss Caroline Steffen emerged as the first woman off the bike and into the run. Next to Steffen were Bree Wee and last year's winner, Belinda Granger. Lagging behind the last 2 winners of the Filipino men's elite category during the swim leg, 2011 runner-up August Benedicto overhauled his deficit in the bike leg and was in contention for the top spot. 2011 third placer Neil Catiil, though, was still determined to reclaim the crown he last won 2 years ago. And the strong run could make it possible. Returning from a long absence in the triathlon scene, Elsie Langit was the first Filipina to arrive in the second transition area. However, there was something with her leg that visibly bothered Langit as she prepared herself for the final stretch. Living up to the challenge, Pete Jacobs surged ahead of Cam Brown early in the 21-kilometer run as the Australian built a gap between him and his Kiwi foe. For Brown, the chance to dethrone Jacobs was slowly slipping away, and he had to shift to a different gear if first place was going to be his reward. Having lived in the Philippines for the last 5 years, Matthew O'Halloran was used to the heat and humidity, and he knew he could use it to his advantage. Showing no ill effects of jet lag and travel, women's pro Caroline Steffen turned it up a notch and increased her lead in the run. With Elsie Langit suffering from intense cramps, three-time champion Monica Torres pounced on the opportunity and overtook Langit for the Filipino Women's Elite lead. With the Cebu sun blazing and scorching heat at its peak, the likes of Mateo Gudicelli and Kim Atienza would find themselves slowing down and cooling down at times. As the early morning slowly shifted and the spectators and supporters eagerly waited, the top triathletes made their way inside the Shangri-La premises. Pete Jacobs was clearly ahead heading down the home stretch, but Cam Brown still had a realistic shot. Among the women pros, Caroline Steffen had built a comfortable advantage and looked for her first ever triumph in the Philippines. In the local scene, August Benedicto was on the brink of finally coming out on top after 2 years of settling for third and second. Soon, the other triathletes began to trickle in, and each of them knew they were close to fulfilling a dream. For the third straight year, Pete Jacobs was the best men's professional, as the 31-year-old Australian crossed the finish line in 4 hours, 7 minutes, and 38 seconds.
I felt good on this race, but at the same time it was tougher, it was hotter. On the run it felt hotter. You know, it's just getting bigger and better every year.
Almost 2 minutes behind was Cameron Brown, who improved on last year's third place finish in 4 hours, 9 minutes, and 1 second.
He sort of took off in the first few kilometres and sort of settled in about 10 seconds back, and he just slowly pulled away, and I was come from a New Zealand winter, which is pretty tough.
Finishing third was Matthew O'Halloran in 4 hours, 19 minutes and 32 seconds.
It's very challenging. The course was challenging, the temperature was challenging, and it's just where the true athletes come out, and it's where your weaknesses are exposed, and it's where your strengths come out as well.
Proving that first time's a charm, Caroline Steffen was the new champion in the women's pro category, finishing in 4 hours, 20 minutes, and 48 seconds.
Like I said before, if I'm smart in the run, like get water and cool down and just keep my pace. I mean, I have my watch on and I know how fast I'm running. I was sure, and I mean, in turnarounds I saw how far she was behind me, and I saw if she gets closer or not. And if I'm smart, I just keep going, and not something happen, I should be safe at the front.
Bree Wee of the United States settled for runner-up honors, while Belinda Granger of Australia ended up third.
I think the competition was a lot stronger this year, so it feels even better to move up a place with better competition.
I knew it was going to be wonderful. So there was just so many people on the course, both the bike and the run. It was crazy.
In the men's Filipino elite, August Benedicto finally broke through as he won his first title over more prominent opponents.
Hindi ako nagduda na talagang mauuna sila para sa akin, lalo na yung sila Arlan at si Neil. Gagawin ko yung lahat para sa bike, sabi ko, todo ko sa lahat ng power ko.
I had 2 flats on the bike. I lost, I don't know how much time, maybe 20 minutes.
Pinilit ko na lang na tapusin yung buong race kasi sayang naman.
Out of nowhere, Franklin Peñalosa finished second in the Filipino men's elite category, followed by local vet Mendel Lopez. For a record 4th time, Monica Torres ruled the Filipino women's elite category as she rallied anew in the run leg.
Dagang weakness ko yung swim, so I just try na kahit paano makat back yung lead sa bike, and then habol na lang sa run. Kung may maabutan, may maabutan.
Hampered by cramps, Elsie Langit faded in the run, but still captured second place in the Filipino women's elite, while young Kim Mangrobang took home third place.
I was on the bike. I knew it on the bike, and I think Monica will catch me on the run for sure. I was cramping. I was really cramping. I let them pass, and I tried to shake it off on the bike. And I know when I stop on the bike, I know I'm gonna feel it on the run because I was cramping all over my legs, my quads.
Hindi pa ako masyado nakaka-recover doon sa headwind sa bike. So, survival mode lang talaga, literal yung run.
While the premier triathletes each aimed for a podium finish, a lot of those who participated in the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines for the first time had more modest goals and were elated with their respective performances.
Very, very nice. I was so happy with my swim. I didn't expect to do that. I worked so hard for it. Sa bike din, masaya ako. At yung run okay lang, but I beat my time dati. Overall, masaya naman. Pero sana next year I could do better.
Okay, because it's my first time, nasira yung bike ko eh. Sa triathlon, kasama yun eh. I offer it to all the stroke survivors. Hopefully, next year, full Ironman, kung kakayanin.
It's a dream come true. It was a tough course. There were times that you're just digging deep and trying to find the strength to just push forward. But when you cross the finish line, wow, it's just a big feat, and it's just a sense of relief after like months and months of sacrifice and hard work.
It was really overwhelming. This is something na talagang pinag-aandaan natin, and finally it's over. It's done and happy.
Someone once said that racing isn't about proving who is the fastest or strongest, but who is willing to test the limits of the human body. For a select few who were willing to go the distance, the reward was great. They conquered not just the Cobra Ironman 70.3 Philippines. Most importantly, they conquered themselves.